from people who want to kill us and other people who want to take over our system of government. And it's very evident it's what's going on in Washington. And this most recent bill, that's what energized us to come see Senator Lincoln. And that is her recent vote on the Bitter Amendment that we were so disappointed that she voted against the Bitter Amendment when Senator Pryor voted for it. And we would like to know why. That's one of the questions that you'll have there. And we just cannot comprehend the rationale behind why she would be more interested in supporting the welfare of 20 million illegal lawbreakers who invaded our country, and yet do that to the discredit of approximately 300 million lawful, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens of this country. We're concerned about our grandchildren. We're concerned about our children. Because all the Social Security that they say is not going to be there for my children and grandchildren is being given away, and people who are freely giving it to undeserving lawbreakers who are coming in this country. And we feel like that Senate Bill 1348 is a total shamnesty. And that's what it is. It's not anything in there that they say is not amnesty. It is amnesty. It's a shamnesty. And this situation is, the laws are on the books. I'm going over with you this, and it's a long, shaggy dog here, and I won't take it. I know you're very busy. But this is my job. Well, yes, but you got other people waiting for you to return their phone calls. I know how that goes.
Bill, if she needs a personal testimonial about what it's not only costing the tax dollars for personal money, she has got a hair-raising story about being hit, her car being hit by illegals.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. And along this line, Sharon, it's not only just happening in Illinois. We had last week a lady whose car was broadsided by an illegal alien with no driver's license, had worked all night, went to sleep at the wheel, almost killed her, and if she hadn't been wearing her seatbelt, law-abiding, she would have been killed right on Park Avenue, right? I think it was, I may be wrong, but I think it's up close to President Lincoln's birthplace up there. It's like boyhood home, Clinton. What did I say, President Lincoln? I'm thinking I'm in the presence of Senator Lincoln. Okay.
In Hot Springs.
Yes, ma'am. And this is coming up for trial next week. And a few of us are going to be present at that courtroom when we see what they're going to do to this lady. I mean, not to this lady, but to that illegal. And I would buy you a big cup of coffee if he shows up. Now, normally, they don't show up. And so they write these tickets, and they know they're illegal. They won't ask them if they're illegal. They're afraid of somebody, somewhere, that's going to put them in jail or bring a lawsuit against them because they just asked them a simple question. And you can ask me, or am I legal? I have no problem telling you that my ancestors fought in 1776. And on both sides of my family, we come from a long, proud military history. So the situation is, these people who come in here and volunteer right off the bat to go to Iraq, to go to Afghanistan, they've got my admiration if they're in the military. But they come in here and take away the rights that my son can die for. He's in the military. And I don't like it. I'm retired myself. And it galls me that these people in the politicians, I'm not speaking about a particular one, but I'm telling you, it doesn't just affect the Democrats. It's across party lines. President Bush is one of the, in my opinion, is one of the biggest perpetrators of the illegal situation we've got going on today, and is encouraging it right now by this atrocious Senate Bill 1348. And I know John McCain personally. He and I were lieutenants down in Meridian, Mississippi, when both of us were lieutenants. And we were hooked, thankfully, in different squadrons, training squadrons down there. But I know him. I know him. That's as far as I'd like to go with that statement. But anyway, that situation, I have other things, bone to pick with Senator McCain. But nevertheless, the situation comes down on this illegal situation. Everybody, Senator Lincoln is going to be a victim. And her children are going to be victims of what's being transpired in these bills up there. Amnesty for these people. the Social Security, the welfare. We've got documentation. Anytime you would like me to present you a dossier of articles, emails that are factual.
Bill, could I interrupt you just? Could I interrupt you
Sure,
just 1 minute?
sure.
You said that Senator Lincoln and her children would be affected by this. She's wealthy enough that she'll never be affected, or
Well,
her children will never.
her children will.
They'll live
You're
behind
right.
gated communities with razor wire
That's
over
right,
and
that's
everything.
right.
It's you and I, the middle
But they
class.
will be
that
affected one way or another.
Well, they'll be there to instigate it and keep it running, is what they'll do.
Well, that's right, but not like ours. But the thing is, they won't have a valid vote. I can promise you that with what's going on, and you can refer that to the last statement on our letter.
I have a question.
And now, along that line, okay.
She's backing the bill for La Raza to be funded with taxpayers' money for 2008 for $5 million, and then $10 million thereafter. That would be like me saying I'm the KKK in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I wish funding for my organization, for housing for my people, for education, or I could be right-wing zealot. I would get crucified.
No black supremacist.
If this is
And they're a racial group.
and she's backing it. And that set me off worse than her other posts. But I'm retired Foreign Service. Also former Marine, also commanded American Legion post in Harrison. American Legion has voted that we're against this amnesty.
Amen.
Throughout, because the laws are on the books. Bill said something about asking. It is against the law for an employee of federal government person to ask anyone, even when I was in Cuba, with all these Americans, and ask them if they were Americans. We can't ask that. Yet it is illegal to be there. So only the laws are only being enforced with certain people. I'm a Texan originally. I grew up with Tejanos. They've been there 700 years. 90% of them don't speak any Spanish. They're Texicans. They hate these people coming across. And what has happened, my grandson came back from Iraq, so we were going to open a business with my other two sons to do contract work for housing. No way. You can go to Branson, which is about north across the border from Harrison. Biggest contract in Harrison has all Mexicans. Nobody stops them. They don't pay workers' comp, but I have to. It's wrong.
Is your La Raza question?
I don't think it is.
No.
So you would like
That's
that?
a good question.
Is your
Important
name
question.
Harrison, or are you from Harrison?
I'm from
Okay.
law enforcement.
He has it right on, and the situation is, he has it right on. You know what I said?
Yeah, but she's
I need to-
finished
Oh, I'm
with
sorry.
this.
Yes.
Or does everybody want that included?
Yeah.
Is that sure? Sure. These are not the only questions. These are the only ones I could put together last night before 1:30 in the morning.
Bill, I have a comment on that too. When I lived in San Jose, California,
Yes.
they canceled the 4th of July parade. They no longer have it, but they fund the Mexican. They have a park right in the center of town, a little park where the Fairmont Hotel is. I don't know if you know about Fairmont. The Fairmont's in San Francisco. In that little park, they had a Liberty Bell, replica of a Liberty Bell. They took that Liberty Bell out and put in a statue that they paid $500,000 for that was a coiled snake that with feathers on it that represents their one of their Mexican gods down there. Now think of the irony of that. Take out the Liberty Bell, put this Mexican statue down there. On the other end of the park, they had paid almost $800,000 for a statue of Captain Fremont, who was one of the Mexican war officers. They were going to put that statue on that end. The Mexicans threatened to destroy